Welcome back to Idea Mechanics, everyone. It is absolutely fantastic to have you with us today. Look, today we are exploring TRIZ, the theory of inventive problem solving, and we're going to completely ditch the trial and error guessing game. We're diving straight into the heart of systematic discovery, bridging that gap between abstract ideas and practical execution. And helping us do exactly that is our lead innovation catalyst right there on screen, sporting his signature red shirt, glasses, and silver accented hair. He'll be guiding us through the data today.
So, let me ask you a question right off the bat. Are you still sitting around waiting for a random eureka moment to solve your complex engineering bottlenecks? Let's be real, it's an exhausting trap, right? Waiting for inspiration is, well, it's just not a strategy. True innovation isn't about getting lucky with a spark of genius. It's actually a highly repeatable architectural discipline that literally anyone can master.
If you're ready to stop relying on luck and start mastering systematic discovery, hit that subscribe button to join the Idea Mechanics team.
And don't forget to ring the notification bell so you're the first to see our next innovation breakdown. We want to build this culture with you. Drop a comment below and tell us which TRIZ principle or tech challenge we should tackle next.
All right, Section 1, the mechanical linkage trap, the limits of solid metal.
Now, for decades, the quote-unquote old way of transmitting heavy force meant relying entirely on rigid mechanical systems. We're talking massive steel levers, thick interlocking cables, heavy iron gears. But as our navigator is pointing out here, just look at the comparison. Rigid mechanical linkages are incredibly heavy, they're friction-prone, and they offer a really weak power density when you're trying to cram them into tight, compact spaces. But then, contrast that with fluid power dynamics on the right. This methodology delivers instant, precise, and frankly unstoppable high power-to-weight ratios, completely bypassing all those clunky limitations of solid metal.
Moving on to the paradigm shift, TRIZ Principle 29, pneumatics and hydraulics.
So what's the actual physics behind this? Well, as our lead expert is demonstrating for us, TRIZ Principle 29 is the methodology of systematically replacing rigid mechanical parts with gas or liquid pressure to transmit massive force. Think about an incompressible fluid, something like hydraulic oil. When you push on it inside a closed system, it doesn't squish, it doesn't compress. It transfers that energy instantly. So by systematically replacing solid metal gears with pressurized fluids, we are literally building invisible muscle right into our designs.
You can see our catalyst highlighting three absolutely crucial outcomes right now. First, this approach completely replaces heavy metal structures. Second, it transmits force instantly without any of that annoying mechanical lag. And third, it achieves massive force in incredibly compact spaces. And as he loves to remind us, achieving this kind of overwhelming power, it's not magic, it's a deliberate architectural process.
Let's look at Section 3, real-world execution, the force multiplier, focusing on hydraulic braking systems. Let's actually ground this theory in reality by looking at how we stop a moving car. You know, every great systematic discovery starts by identifying a really clear technical contradiction. Look at the dynamic mapped out here. On one side, you have a biological limitation. A human foot just cannot mechanically stop a speeding 2-ton vehicle using muscle alone. But on the other side, the required output is that we absolutely need massive, instantaneous stopping power.
And this brilliantly illustrates our systematic solution. Let's walk through the mechanics step by step. Step 1. The driver applies a pretty light force to the pedal. Step 2. A piston forces hydraulic fluid through the brake tubes. Step 3, and this is the magic part, because that fluid is incompressible, it perfectly and instantly multiplies that force. Finally, Step 4, the calipers act on the wheels to actually halt the vehicle. Notice there are no massive mechanical cables threatening to snap here. The fluid architecture is just perfectly multiplying human effort.
Which brings us to real-world execution, invisible muscle, specifically aerospace flight control surfaces.
Okay, let's scale this up to a really extreme environment to see how this exact principle controls the skies. Once again, we're facing an incredible technical contradiction. Up at 30,000 feet, an aircraft has to move massive flight control surfaces against extreme wind resistance. It is physically impossible to use heavy mechanical gears up there. I mean, the sheer weight of the metal would literally ground the plane. So what's the systematic solution? Pressurized fluid actuators. They deliver all the necessary strength with a power-to-weight ratio that is just unmatched.
Just look at the high-tech holograms our navigator is projecting right now. They beautifully map out this incompressible fluid architecture inside the aircraft wings. This hydraulic fluid acts as the exact invisible muscle needed for stable flight control. It gives you a crazy high power-to-weight ratio, and because it uses flexible tubing, Engineers can easily route multiple redundancies throughout the whole aircraft to guarantee absolute safety in the air.
So the crucial takeaway from this explainer is summarized perfectly in our guiding principle here. True mechanical mastery is a repeatable architectural skill. We really need to shift our mindset away from trying to force heavy, rigid parts to do the impossible. Innovation is a repeatable discipline, and when it's applied systematically, we can engineer solutions that honestly seem almost magical.
And that wraps up our Principle 29. We've seen how escaping the mechanical linkage trap unlocks this unstoppable invisible muscle. So before we go, I want to hear from you. What TRIZ principle or complex tech challenge should the Idea Mechanics team tackle next? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Keep applying these principles systematically, and we will catch you in the next explainer.